Hello everybody, welcome to Comicus, the knockdown drag-out fight between four comic books. Today we're looking at four different books. In just a moment I will show you what those books are. Now, fingers crossed, the other camera might be working. It was earlier. Here's hoping it still is. I'll be damned. One second here, just a little positioning. Yay! Okay, so the books we're going to be looking today are Bloodshot Salvation, Issue 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Issue 75. This one's crazy. It's actually like a trade paperback. It's a double-sized issue. So it's like 45 pages, and it's bound like a thin book. Action Comics number 990. The Oz Effect, Part 4. And Dark Knight's Batman the Merciless, part of Metal. Okay, everybody. So first off, we're going to talk about Bloodshot Salvation Issue 2. It does basically what Issue 1 did, which I really liked. It has a part that says soon, as in events that haven't occurred yet, but will in the near future. And then roughly about 8 to 10 pages in, now. So you see these future events, and they're usually pretty violent and shocking and crazy, and then we're taken to now, where we are led up to those events. But it's slowly taking us there. It hasn't completely put the tissues together to form what's happening. It's been a really good book, man. Bloodshot's a character I didn't even know. I got it because it was Valiant, and Valiant is doing really well with like Exo Manowar and other books. Ninjak is coming out in November, and I figured I would try Bloodshot Salvation. Also, it's written by Jeff Lemire. Jeff Lemire, to me, is one of the best writers in comics. He is just awesome. He did Animal Man. He does Black Hammer. He's just really great. I wish I could just name all his books he does, but those are the two that come up to my top of my head right now. Black Hammer has been spectacular. Anyway, Black Hammer did not come out this week, so we will not be reviewing that. So, we have soon and we have now. And basically, main character, Bloodshot, I guess, he's got a normal name, but it's not as much fun to say as Bloodshot, is basically looking to find out what the hell's going on with his wife's father, who's known as Daddy. And he's a frightening cult leader. And he basically goes to the place where the cult is and everything, and he wants some answers as to what the hell's going on. And that's basically the now part. The soon part is this gigantic monster guy right here. He goes and hunts down Magic and Bloodshot's daughter. Magic is his wife. That might seem confusing. Yeah, Magic is the name of his wife. They basically get into a huge tussle, and Bloodshot's daughter has the abilities of Bloodshot, so she actually is able to somewhat fight and get away from him, while a group of other people, I guess in the Bloodshot program, save Magic and Bloodshot's daughter, and basically whisk them away to safety type of thing. And we go through and we actually show a very young Magic and her daughter, and they need to go to the doctor, and the reason the daughter's sick is she has the nanites that Bloodshot has in him, and they're revealed as the big symbol on her chest. The big, like, well, you see, the big red symbol. I thought it was really good. I really liked it a lot. Issue 1 was good, and I thought this was really good as well. This could be one of the better books out right now, actually. I thought it was really impressive. Okay. Next up we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 75. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's disappointing. It's basically the Trial of Krang Part 3. And issues 1 and 2 are regular issue length, 22 pages roughly. This is like 45 pages, or 50. And it's like bound like a trade. The pacing is really bizarre. I don't know what in the hell they were thinking. It's epic science fiction space battles in the beginning, and that was really cool. But when it's happening, you're like, wait a minute. How are they going to do this kind of like quasi-courtroom drama? Well, they'll do the space battle for 8 to 10 pages, and then basically put you through 30 or 40 pages of courtroom drama with tons of freaking exposition and way too much dialogue. Now, understand what I mean by way too much dialogue. Certain books can be, you know, made better with more dialogue. It's a boon to a lot of books, you know. Something like Watchmen has a ton of dialogue, and there's a reason for it. It's there for a reason. It actually makes sense, it works, and there's a lot that they're trying to convey. Here, it was just like the writer just kept writing, and it's just too much exposition. And the reveal, I will actually put a little warning on this when I do the edit of it, not the full version. But on the edit, I will actually do a warning. I'm going to reveal what happens at the end of Krang's trial. Okay? Because it's stupid and ridiculous. So, the King of the Neutrinos is actually the judge, because the original judge is killed by something known as Hacker, which is this bizarre mix between like Venom and a cyber virus type of thing, okay? And it's an assassin. And basically, he's like, there's these other crimes and everything I think you're guilty of. But you know what, Krang? We're going to go and send you off with your people, and they're going to imprison you for life or whatever. And you're sitting there and you're like, what the shit is that? This is Krang, one of the worst war criminals of all time. I mean, this judge is shit. I don't care if he's the King of Neutrinos. It's an idiotic decision. And that everyone just stands by it, including the Turtles, is ridiculous. The one person that doesn't is Leatherhead, who rushes at Krang and eats him. You heard me right. The trial of Krang, the resolution, is that Leatherhead runs at him and eats him. Yes. So, for about 80 pages then, issues, well, even more than that. Oh, let me get to this. Okay. So there's the 3 issues, right? 1 and 2, normal size. This is a double size issue, 3 issues. Then I believe there were 5 one-shots about the different, what do you call that? Different people that have been wronged by Krang. Witnesses, and how the Turtles had to find them and bring them all together, and each one is its own book. So we went through all that. I didn't buy those, by the way. I wanted to save some money, and they didn't seem that compelling to me. The Krang trial did. After all that, we come down to Leatherhead just chomping down on some Krang, killing him. So Krang has been around since the 1980s. As one of the main villains of the Turtles. He's just gone now. In between the teeth of Leatherhead. Think about that for a moment, would you? Yeah. There's more to it than that. It starts setting up the Triceratons might be coming to Earth and causing havoc. We don't know if they'll actually cause havoc at this point. But yeah, it was disappointing. It was disappointing. There's a cool moment where the Turtles make a deal with Hacker to actually leave them alone and kill the malignant race, or the Maligna and her race of alien insects, the Hive, that are actually causing that space battle in the beginning of the book, because he's a computer virus, but he takes a human virus, not a human virus, he takes a virus from one of the witnesses, and then he basically turns it into data and goes and corrupts their ship, destroying the entire Hive. That was cool. That was a neat part of the book. That I liked a lot. The resolution of Krang's trial, however, no. No, I don't know many people that would like that. I think it would be amusing if it wasn't one of the biggest villains they faced for 30 years. You know, if it was a one-shot and it's the enemy and like everything, someone eats him. Much different than Krang, one of the most important characters in the Turtle books. Okay, everybody, that was the first 2 books that we're looking at for Comicus today. So let's look at the 3rd book and the 4th book. Just one second here. Here we go. A much more enjoyable read. Action Comics number 990, The Oz Effect Part 4. And on the cover, kind of difficult to see perhaps. It's got a cool lenticular thing going on. There's Jor-El and Jonathan Kent. That's right, Superman's son is also John, or Jonathan. And there's Superman with his son. Okay. So, Jor-El goes and takes his grandson on a trip to see the world that he would like to exist. The world for him, his son Clark, or I'm sorry, Kal-El, he would actually call him, Lois, and John, young John. And it's this idyllic place where people have abilities, no one has to hide them or anything like that. But the cost of that is basically possibly killing everyone on the Earth. And right now, Clark had some questions in his mind over Oz and his father, and if this actually is his father, Jor-El, and all the things he's done. And now he truly believes that one and the same, he is the Oz that was doing all these things. All those things are definite for him. I think they should have been definite for him an issue or 2 ago, but that's okay. That's a little bit off, I'll admit. Well, basically, John has been turned against Superman. He doesn't fight him or anything, but he's like, you have to listen to Grandpa, because everyone is going to die. We're all going to die. And I liked it. I thought it was a good book. Some things I want to leave out a little bit, so there are some surprises for you. Like I said, I usually try not to spoil things too much, but with that previous Turtle book, I had to. I feel I had to save you from it, almost. But yeah, it was good. It's not my favorite of his story arc, though. I would say the first 2 issues I like more than this one, but this is still good. So let's go to the next book, everybody. Dark Knights, Batman the Merciless. Metal! Okay. I like this one a lot more than Batman the Drowned, which came out last week. If you look carefully, you'll see the Wonder Woman symbol right there. Okay? But you're like, wait a minute, that's not a woman. That's a man. It's a Batman. Yes, so they're all like evil versions of Batman, all under this thing known as Barbatos or Barbatos. Not Barbados, like the island. It's with a T. Yeah, it was really good, actually. I really liked it. What you find out is that in an alternate reality, like all these books are, okay, these books have a certain way that they go. And it's a good thing this is only 6 or 7 issues, because already the whole, like, the themes and everything are starting to be a bit samey, but it's still an interesting read, and there's some pretty dark, crazy stuff in here that you find out about. Anyway, it's Ares. Ares is basically causing massive amounts of war, and it's Batman and Wonder Woman. And here it's in this time, in this part of the multiverse, dark multiverse, it seems that they're in love. Okay? Well, Ares has just killed Wonder Woman. Okay? And he basically, in the battle, he loses his helmet. Batman grabs the helmet, and even though Diana told him to never, ever put on Ares' helmet, he does. And he is almost instantly corrupted. And he goes out and he's like, everything I've done in my entire life was wrong. There was no need for mercy. Only the purity of death. And he's going around with a sword just slaughtering people left and right. And it's insane. And you just see him just be more monstrous and more monstrous, just killing all these people because it's Ares' helmet that has corrupted him. There's this amazing shot of the Merciless, and right here he's holding in his hand the severed head of Ares, which is just insane. And his corruption goes to the point of, you find out that Lois, you find out that Wonder Woman was hurt very, very badly, but she did survive. But because she tries to talk Bruce down and to take off the helmet, he reveals that he had to kill her too, himself. And then the Batman Who Laughs, which is like the Joker version of Batman, appears and makes the demonic bargain, almost like a Faustian bargain, to work for Barbatos with the other evil Batmen and basically bring the end of all things and bring in the darkness. Like I said, I liked it more than The Drowned. I thought it was better than The Drowned. It's definitely not one of my favorites. But it's good. It's good. That whole thing, though, about the Batman Who Laughs coming and, you know, striking a bargain or deal, it's getting a little bit old. I'm hoping that maybe they can really kind of toss things up with Batman, the Batman Who Laughs. Although they might just call it the Batman Who Laughs. I don't know if it's Batman, the Batman Who Laughs, because that's a little bit wordy. But Batman the Devastator is next week. So I'm interested to see what that's like. And I'm still not certain as to who the Devastator is. I'll have to take a good look at it, like a picture of him, and see. Because most of them are based on Justice League members, okay? You had, last week, The Drowned was Aquaman, okay? Here's Wonder Woman. We've had Cyborg, The Flash, and maybe the Devastator's Superman. That could be. That could very well be Superman. Okay. Well, what that does is take us through the 4 books that we looked at today for Comicus. So now, it'll be just one moment. I'm going to get them in order. What book is the winner of Comicus, and which books are not the winner. And I don't think you'll be incredibly and terribly surprised, to be honest with you. Let me just get them in order here. Hopefully we have them positioned correctly for the camera. I think we will. I think it'll be pretty good. Surprise, surprise. My biggest disappointment of this week. Can't see I hated it because there were a few entertaining moments, but man, what a weak way to get rid of an iconic villain. Just, I don't even need to say more. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's say that again. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Number 75. I strip you of your bag and board. And just like Leatherhead, I take a bite out of ya. Oh, okay. So next up we have Superman Action Comics. Again, it's not one of my favorite chapters so far of the Oz storyline. Again, this is part 4. I thought parts 1 and 2 were stronger and more fascinating, but it was still good. And like I said, as the Superman comics go, I still would say go with Action Comics over Superman. I will be trying another issue of Superman maybe next month, just to give it a chance. That hopefully it's gotten better, less cloying. But as much as I liked it, it just wasn't Comicus material. So, Action Comics, issue 990. I strip you of your bag and your board, both. And I toss you into the magical wonderland that Jor-El showed young John. This might be a surprise for you. You might have thought that this would be the last of the 4 books we'd be looking at, as is that would be the winner of Comicus. But you would have thought wrong. Batman the Merciless Metal. Like I said, I thought it was better than the Drowned, but I didn't think it was better than the Red Death, which is the Flash version, or the Murder Machine, which is the Cyborg version, and even the Green Lantern one I thought was better, Dawnbreaker. But still, it was better than last week's The Drowned, and it was still good. It's just not excellent, you know. So, guess what's happening in that book? Batman the Merciless Metal. I strip you of your bag and board. And I wear you like Ares' helmet. And finally, Bloodshot Salvation #2. Jeff Lemire, really good writer. I think it's really good. It's really good. The whole, like I said, the whole thing where it goes from soon to now, and basically it wants us to fill in the pieces. Well, it's, you know, it's going to do that for us too, but it also lets us kind of like think ahead and be like, ooh, does this happen? Is this why this is happening? The writing is really good. You actually get a feel for how much Bloodshot loves his family, and it's not in a cheap way. It's in actually a pretty emotional way. And he'll go to any lengths to save them. And, you know, now he's going to go after Magic, his wife, again, because it's such an odd name, I feel I have to constantly say Magic is the name of his wife. And go after Daddy, which is her father, who is a monster of a person. Not in the same way Bloodshot is. He's a cult leader, and I gotta say, Salvation issue 3 is probably going to be pretty wild. Pretty wild and wacky stuff. Okay, everybody. So that means Bloodshot Salvation issue 2. You are the winner of Comicus. I do not strip you of your bag or your board. Instead, you ascend into the heavens and you become a star. Oh, 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 oh. Look at it. It's amazing. It's kind of bloody. Real red looking. Big circle. But you can tell it loves its family. It loves its family deeply. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for watching Comicus. I greatly appreciate it. Whether you watch on Twitch or YouTube, thank you so much. Thank you. I try to get these on YouTube on the Friday after it airs, and the Comicus will always air first on Wednesday on Twitch. So thank you very much, everybody. Just going to leave it open for just a moment. Anyone has any suggestions for comics or any questions or anything like that pertaining to Comicus? We'll just give it a moment there. Yeah, Turtles is a big letdown, man. Yeah, I was really enjoying the first 2 issues. And then that happened. The end of it, and yeah. Okay, everybody, I don't see any questions, but again, I want to thank you very much. You've been awesome, and if you like, you know, feel free to if you're watching this on Twitch, feel free to follow. If you're watching this on Twitch, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to subscribe. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.